Breaking news, Isotta Fraschini has withdrawn from the remainder of the 2024 season of the World Endurance Championship. The Tipo 6 LMH Competizioni, which competed at this year's 24 Hours of Le Mans, will no longer race this year, and the Italian brand will pull out with immediate effect. So in this video, I will break down this major news to understand why Isotta Fraschini has paused their Le Mans hypercar program and what their future holds within the WEC and motorsport. So far, Isotta Fraschini has competed in 5 rounds of the WEC, and even finished the 24 Hours of Le Mans with 0 reliability issues, which was a big accomplishment for a brand with little experience in prototype endurance racing. In fact, their Le Mans hypercar was actually en route to Austin, Texas, to prepare for the next round at Lone Star Le Mans at the Circuit of the Americas. However, now that this announcement has dropped, the car will obviously not be competing. This means that the hypercar field at COTA has downsized to 18 entries with the loss of Isotta, and the entry list for Lone Star Le Mans now just has 36 cars competing. Now I want to clarify that the reason why Isotta Fraschini has made this bold decision is not necessarily because of their performance and results in the WEC so far, because according to my sources, this decision seems to have been taken because of a financial situation regarding Team Duqueine. Duqueine was the team that ran Isotta Fraschini's LMH program, but financial issues have resulted in Isotta Fraschini not receiving what they needed from Duqueine, forcing the Italian brand to temporarily pull out of the championship and end their partnership with Duqueine. Therefore, this situation is a problem directly between Isotta Fraschini and Duqueine. Now obviously, because the partnership between Isotta Fraschini and Duqueine ended, there was no way for the boutique Italian manufacturer to continue in the WEC for this season, considering there would be no team to run the number 11 hypercar, thus directly forcing them to end their season early. Also, it's worth mentioning that this is not the first time that a team and this brand parted ways, as before the season started, British team Vector Sport was initially scheduled to run the Tipo 6 LMH Competizioni in the WEC. However, Isotta Fraschini and Vector Sport parted ways, and the brand partnered with Duqueine. But of course, the reasoning behind Isotta and Vector Sport's breakaway was very different to what's going on now. Since the announcement, Isotta Fraschini has put out a statement from CEO and Director of Motorsports Miguel Valdecabras. The following is his statement. "We are immensely proud of our achievements in our debut season. Competing in the WEC has been an incredible honor and experience, with the 24 Hours of Le Mans being a particular highlight. This very difficult decision has not been made lightly, but it allows us to build on our successes, fostering the growth of our brand and the development of our products in both racing and hypercar markets. As a new manufacturer with great ambitions, not continuing in the WEC 2024 season is a strategic obligation to conserve our resources and ensure the continuity of our project. Isotta Fraschini extends its heartfelt gratitude to sponsors, drivers, partners, and fans for their unwavering support throughout this inaugural season. The company also thanks the WEC and the ACO for their support, and hopes for a possible return in the near future. Despite this difficult setback, we are excited about the future. Our journey as a performance brand continues, and we are eager to achieve new milestones." Isotta Fraschini will now go through the process of reorganizing their motorsport program, and will now seek to find a new team to partner with as they look to return to the WEC soon. As of right now, we know for a fact that Isotta will miss the final 3 races of this season in the USA, Japan, and Bahrain, but it's unconfirmed whether they will or will not race in the 2025 season of the WEC hypercar class. Besides partnering with a resourceful team and having financial backing, a factor that would prevent Isotta Fraschini from joining the 2025 grid is the new 2-car mandate rule for factory teams. This rule means that Isotta Fraschini would need to have 2 cars on the grid, and while they've expressed interest in doing this, they would need a resourceful team that has the ability to run 2 cars. Then there's also the problem of a lack of space, with the likes of Aston Martin joining in 2025 and Van Wall also looking for a potential return. More on that subject later on though. As of right now though, Isotta Fraschini's Le Mans hypercar program is on pause, and if it stays paused in 2025, one of the questions is, what will the impact be of the loss of Isotta Fraschini from the WEC? Well, one of the big disadvantages would be that we have lost a brand like Isotta Fraschini and their magnificent hypercar. The Italian brand was one of the oldest manufacturers to compete in hypercar, dating back to the year of 1900, when Cesare Isotta and the Fraschini brothers established the company. Isotta Fraschini was revived in 2022 and set sights on participating in prototype endurance racing, and with the help of resourceful companies like Michelotto and HWA, they built a car that had the ability to drive over 200 miles per hour and compete at one of the most prestigious endurance races in the world, the 24 Hours of Le Mans. Now, the potential loss of Isotta from the 2025 grid does open the door for more entries to join. For example, Proton Competition could indeed receive their second Porsche 963 to race alongside their already existing entry. And then there's also the potential return of Van Wall, who have been making major changes to their Le Mans hypercar in the attempt of returning to the series in 2025, and in fact, they just recently acquired the ability to race with the Van Wall name. If Isotta Fraschini doesn't return next year, this could also affect the LMGT3 field and allow a new manufacturer into the WEC, Mercedes. The German manufacturer has already been interested in entering their AMG GT3, which already competes in a huge variety of sports car endurance races, including the IMSA WeatherTech Sports Car Championship, where they currently lead in the GTD class with the Windward Racing entry. So if there is indeed space, Mercedes could definitely fill the LMGT3 grid to make it 20 full-time cars in that category. Also, I want to point out that some folks have been wondering if Isotta Fraschini is ready to return to the WEC and there is no space for them, why don't they join IMSA? Well, even though the GTP class allows Le Mans hypercars like the Aston Martin Valkyrie, Isotta Fraschini will not be able to join even if they wanted to, and this is because of the 2,500 road car rule, which prohibits Isotta Fraschini from joining because they do not make over 2,500 road cars per year. Ultimately, Isotta Fraschini pulling out of the WEC for the remainder of 2024 is just unfortunate. For someone that has been supporting this brand for quite some time, I feel they had the potential to improve and continue to make progress in the hypercar category. So it's definitely disappointing that the situation revolving Duqueine had to happen that forced Isotta Fraschini to end their season early. While it is possible that we will not see the return of Isotta Fraschini to the grid, it's also not impossible. If there is space and the Italian marque can find the right partner with the necessary resources to compete with two cars, I'm confident that Isotta Fraschini can make a return to the WEC. So there's the news, Isotta Fraschini has withdrawn from the WEC for the remainder of 2024, and this seems to have been caused by financial issues regarding Team Duqueine. What are your thoughts on this major news? Will Isotta Fraschini ever return to the WEC, or was that the last we saw of their Le Mans hypercar? Make sure to let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Thanks for watching. For more content on endurance racing such as the WEC and IMSA, consider subscribing if you haven't already. On screen, you'll find some suggested videos to watch next. For now though, that's it for me. You'll hear from me next in the following video.